Welcome to our International Student Brief program, where we dive into the latest and greatest news bites from around the globe, all served with a side of levity and insight. Today, we've got a smorgasbord of stories that range from the educational to the downright practical for those bitten by the travel bug. First up, the Sydney Morning Herald has thrown the spotlight on a fascinating development from the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA. They're rolling out a course named Prologue, tailor-made for Generation Z. But wait, it's not what you think. This isn't about becoming the next TikTok sensation. Instead, it's all about mastering the lost art of offline communication. Yes, you heard that right. In a world glued to screens, NIDA is on a mission to teach young folks how to communicate, network, and boost their confidence in the real world. Meanwhile, across the pond, the New York Times reports a jaw-dropping trend in U.S. college costs, with figures nearing the $100,000 mark per year. And let's not forget about Nigeria's bold step towards making education more accessible with the Nigeria Education Loan Fund. It seems like everywhere you look, the world of education is buzzing with change. But there's more to life than just textbooks and tuition fees. For the adventurous souls planning to drive abroad, The Independent has some advice that could save you from a world of trouble and fines. From clean air zones to the necessity of having a reflective jacket in your car, it's all about respecting the rules of the road and the places you visit. And speaking of respect, Alabama Senator Katie Britt is making waves with her call for a more respectful political discourse in the United States. It's a reminder that, whether it's navigating foreign roads or engaging in political debates, understanding, preparation, and respect are the keys to success. So, whether you're pondering the skyrocketing costs of education, planning your next road trip abroad, or reflecting on the state of political discourse, it's clear that the world is full of challenges and opportunities. From NIDA's innovative approach to communication skills, to the financial hurdles of higher education and the importance of civility in politics, these stories offer a glimpse into the dynamic landscape we navigate every day. Please stay tuned for more detailed content, as we delve deeper into these fascinating topics. In a world where technology reigns supreme, the Sydney Morning Herald brings to light an intriguing development from the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA. The institute is set to launch a course named Prologue, specifically tailored for Generation Z. This course isn't just any ordinary curriculum, it's designed to bridge a significant gap in today's digital era, the art of offline communication. With a focus on enhancing communication skills, networking capabilities, and personal confidence, Prologue aims to equip young individuals with the tools they need to thrive in a world that extends beyond screens. Social researcher Claire Madden highlights a pertinent issue: the struggle of younger workers to build relationships and establish confidence, especially after the pandemic. It seems there's a disconnect between knowing what needs to be done and feeling confident enough to do it, a gap Prologue seeks to bridge. Meanwhile, the New York Times sheds light on a startling trend in the realm of higher education. The cost of attending college in the United States is on an upward trajectory, with Vanderbilt University setting a precedent by quoting an attendance cost nearing $100,000 a year. Although this figure might seem like an anomaly, it opens up a larger conversation about the escalating costs of college education. With the average list price for tuition, fees, housing, and food at private four-year schools standing at $56,190, the question of whether the cost of college education justifies its value becomes more pressing. Despite the availability of financial aid and scholarships, the financial burden on students and their families continues to be a concern. On a different note, Bloomberg reports on a significant policy change in Nigeria that aims to make higher education more accessible. President Bola Tinubu has signed into law the Access to Higher Education Bill 2024, establishing the Nigeria Education Loan Fund. This initiative is a beacon of hope for many who find the cost of tuition beyond their reach. By offering loans for tuition and living expenses, the government seeks to mitigate the impact of the cost of living crisis on access to education. Funded by 1% of all taxes, levies, and duties collected by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, this move represents a significant step towards making higher education attainable for a larger segment of the population. These stories, from the Sydney Morning Herald, New York Times, and Bloomberg, paint a vivid picture of the challenges and opportunities in the realms of education and communication. From the innovative approach of NIDA to equip Generation Z with essential offline communication skills to the alarming rise in college costs in the U.S., and Nigeria's bold move to expand access to education through student loans, we see a dynamic landscape. Each narrative underscores the need for adaptability and resilience in a rapidly changing world, where the value of education and effective communication remains paramount. In a world that never stops moving, it's crucial to stay informed about the rules of the road, especially when those roads lead beyond familiar borders. According to The Independent, UK drivers with wanderlust and plans to venture abroad this summer should take note of a few key regulations before hitting the foreign highways. It turns out, the road less traveled might just require a bit more preparation than expected. From clean air zones that aim to reduce pollution in city centers to varying speed limits that can change as quickly as the scenery, being aware of these differences is not just about avoiding fines, it's about respecting the places we visit. And that's not all, there are a few more items to tick off your checklist. Imagine being pulled over and not having a reflective jacket, a warning triangle, or a first aid kit in your car. In some countries, these are not just recommendations but legal requirements. Furthermore, to avoid any confusion or potential accidents when driving on the opposite side of the road, UK drivers are advised to add a UK sticker to their vehicle and adjust their headlight beam deflectors. Moving from the roads to the corridors of academia, the Sydney Morning Herald sheds light on a contentious issue down under. The architect behind Australia's student visa scheme, a blueprint designed to welcome international students and enrich the country's educational landscape, has voiced concerns over its current usage. Describing the situation as akin to creating Frankenstein's bride, the scheme's creator is disheartened by the Albanese government's clampdown on universities. This approach, according to the architect, has strayed far from the original intent, leading to a significant financial strain on educational providers due to lost fees. It's a classic tale of a well-intentioned plan taking an unexpected turn, leaving stakeholders to navigate the aftermath. Meanwhile, in the United States, Alabama Senator Katie Britt, a Republican, is making a heartfelt plea for more respectful discourse in politics. As reported by the Associated Press, during her speech at the University of Louisville, Britt highlighted the challenges of engaging in meaningful conversations in today's politically charged atmosphere. In an era where social media often amplifies divisions and encourages a performance over pragmatism approach, Britt emphasizes the importance of maintaining friendships across the aisle. She argues that these relationships are not just nice to have but essential for the functioning of democracy. By sharing her own experiences of friendship with Democrats, Britt is calling for a return to civility and respect in political discourse, suggesting that the path forward involves listening, understanding, and, most importantly, respecting one another, even in disagreement. In essence, whether it's navigating the roads of a foreign country, the evolving landscape of education policy, or the tumultuous waters of political discourse, the underlying message is clear: understanding, preparation, and respect are key. These stories, from the practical advice for UK drivers abroad to the plea for a more respectful political environment in the US, remind us of the importance of staying informed, being prepared, and, above all, treating each other with respect. In the realm of higher education, the Associated Press reports a startling figure that might make any prospective student's heart skip a beat. The cost of attending some private colleges in the US this fall could soar up to $95,000. This staggering sum covers tuition, board, meals, and other expenses. Yet, there's a silver lining for those worried about affording such a hefty price tag. Many of these institutions, blessed with large endowments, are extending generous financial aid packages to students from lower-income families. In some cases, these students might only need to pay about 10% of the advertised rate. However, there's a catch: the process of finding out how much aid one will receive is fraught with delays and anxiety, thanks to issues with the U.S. Department of Education's online form intended to streamline the aid application process. Meanwhile, on a lighter note, the Japan Times brings us a story of expansion and excitement from the world of toys. Bandai, a leading capsule toy maker known for delighting fans worldwide, is setting its sights beyond Japan. The company has ambitious plans to open over 80 new stores across Asia, Europe, and the US, with a special emphasis on North America. This move is aimed at capitalizing on the surging global popularity of capsule toys, which have already seen a 36% market increase in Japan. By tripling the number of its specialty shops, Bandai is not just spreading joy through its tiny treasures but also betting big on the international market's insatiable appetite for collectibles. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.